Love it.
Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. There's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to All Around Town Radio.
Working for the weekend, and I want to see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man on there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So All Around Town Radio
Show.
That's where I go for the latest planned info. So All Around Town Radio Show for the music that comforts my soul. It's the All Around Town Radio Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hot Topic Tuesday. I'm Scott Hall, your host. Welcome. Welcome. I hear crunching. Can you guys hear crunching? Give me some more crunches in the sound effects. There we go. So let me say hi to a couple people, and then I'm going to bring a special guest on the show today because we have a special guest to talk to today. Welcome, Glenn. Thank you for saying hi to Ceris and Scott. It's Scott right now. Scott right now. Lauren, thank you. Ray Renee. Gina McCann saying hi to Scott and Ceris, but you never know what may pop up on the screen here. Today on this episode of Bar Rescue, this episode of Hot Topic Tuesday, we're bringing you a fun topic, and my co-host has joined me, and she is ready for battle, ladies and gentlemen. Ready for battle. Here is Ceris.
Roar! I'm ready. Hold on to your nipples, because mama's coming for you.
Oh, my God, Becky. What is happening? Tell me what is happening, Ceris. What is happening today? You saw the topic, right?
Oh, yeah. The topic is epic because you're going to basically tell me how I pissed you off. It's your lucky day, everybody.
Wow. How special is that? I mean,
I got my war paint on. I'm ready to rumble.
What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell?
Becky?
Oh my God. I'm not sure I'm ready for this.
Oh. Who is though?
All right, let's see who's joining us today. Let's check it out. Glenn, of course, had to tell me. My producer, Glenn, had to tell me that I don't see Ceris. There was a reason for that. You're going to see her now. In fact, let's do an extreme close-up. Here we go. Yes, right there. You can see her now, can't you, Glenn? Oh, my goodness. I just don't know how to even act today. Jamie Minnick in the house. How you doing, Jamie?
Can you guys even see me?
Ceris is crunching, Jim said. Yes,
I'm eating caramel popcorn.
Because there's a lot of people.
I go to war.
There's a lot of people eating popcorn. Hello, Carolyn. Thank you. Say hi to some of these people, Ceris.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy you've joined us this evening.
Jeff Morris. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Ditch. Look, there's Nicholas joining us. And what did I do with Ceris? I am not responsible for any of this. In fact, allow me just to say, you know what we always say, Ceris.
Ray, it's purple eyeshadow.
Purple eyeshadow on your face.
I didn't even know I owned eyeshadow.
That's going to take some Noxema to get off of there.
I have a whole palette of eyeshadow.
Palette. Like a palette, like they have in the Sam's Club, a palette full of stuff, or just a little. Did I
use the wrong word?
Color palette.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, guess what? The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of our sponsors or any entities they represent. Thank you. There we go. Now we're going to get started. What's the topic today, Ceris?
Well, the topic is, what can venues and venue owners do to build a reputation, good or bad? It's your turn to tell me how I fuck shit up. Go.
Marianne wants to know why the warrior paint. Because she's a warrior.
I'm a warrior. Actually, funny story.
The warrior.
My name is a Welsh name and it has two meanings, love and warrior.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Love and warrior.
Yep, indeed-o. Ceris is invisible. You just hear a loud voice.
Poor Jim. That's all I gotta say. All right.
Poor Jim.
Poor Jim. Yes.
Please.
So what do venues do to get a bad reputation?
You gotta start this.
Or a good reputation. And I'm gonna start it off with one that was up here in my neck of the woods. It's had a bad reputation for a lot of years, just closed up for in the online scuttlebutt and some of the documents from the courts who actually padlocked the door and boarded the place up were because they did not pay their bills. And they had so many judgments and things, I think, against them that they ended up shutting it down. But it's had a bad reputation with the musicians as well. The booking agent there was not a favorite of a lot of people. And I will say that it's interesting. I saw more applause for this venue shutting down than I did anybody saying, wow, that's too bad because we've played there so many times over the years and all that. It was just like everybody I saw said, screw them.
Oh, I want to know who.
You know? And we said today we're not going to mention names because we don't want to point fingers at anybody.
Somebody private message me then.
Yes, you'll know. You'll hear about it. But
that's
Marianne knows who.
Marianne, private message me and tell me who it is.
Quentin, how you doing, Quentin from Ladder? Thank you for being here. Hi, Kara. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, interesting. And Marianne said she'll tell you. All right. So we're looking for your comments today, guys. We're here to talk about what a bar or venue can do to either alienate you or make you go back. Some of them have great reputations. Some of them have crappy reputations. Let's start with what you can do, because we always start with the negative. You know, that's the way it works on this show. It's the only way we get comments. So let's start with the negative on what venues can do. Yeah, that basically will alienate you from coming back to their place. I'm waiting. Are you waiting, Ceris?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Right now, I don't hear much.
I'm waiting. Like, I want to hear it.
Where are they? Where did everybody go? Fluctuating cover charges.
Fluctuating cover charges.
Wow. Okay.
There's a place they don't like because the service is slow and not friendly.
There we go.
Kindness goes a long way. Not honoring an agreement. Hire a promoter who is known to hurt musicians that will make people not want to go there. I said it. LOL. Well, that doesn't. Well, I really only know of two.
How's the popcorn? That looks really good.
So good.
Can you pass me some through the screen? Thank you. Oh, that was great. Mm-hmm. Marvelous. So, all right, wrong crowd, rude servers, bartenders. Yeah, I think it circles back around. If it's a venue's fault, a lot of times it circles around to the staff. But why is the staff unhappy? And why do they treat customers poorly? That usually circles around to somebody's got to manage this stuff. And you can get out of control with the staff quickly if there's nobody, driving the train, so to speak, and telling them the direction you want it to go.
Hey, Jimmy, maybe sometimes that's not the only thing that venue owners care about.
Interesting, Jimmy. That's an interesting comment, because I've known some fantastic bands that were not asked back because they had huge ass egos.
Yeah, like I think I mention it almost every episode that one of the bands that packed my house the most, I will never ever ask back to my bar. I don't care.
That says a lot because, most times money wins over
No,
maturity. But in that case, you said no.
no, kindness.
Carol says messing up your reservations. Yes.
That can sometimes be an honest mistake, messing up reservations.
Double booking. Yes.
I'm guilty of that. I think everybody's made a mistake here and there. I think I'm hoping we're all saying that these things happen continuously.
And I agree with Gina there. That's the point, is you see this, and I see it so often when I do my list on Thursdays. I'll be putting this list together and I'm like, wait a minute, somebody said they were playing Saturday at that place. So I'm messaging musicians and they're like, no, it's my booking. And the other guy's like, no, we're booked there this weekend. And certain venues, it happens a lot.
Yeah. So that I hope when we were saying, bad reservations, double booking, that we're having a little bit of leeway there but if it happens a lot, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And that's a great point. And also, Ceris, I think on that same vein is the double booking thing. Oftentimes you see venues hire somebody and they put them in charge of the booking bands. Okay. It's not the owner. It's not the manager. There's somebody that works there. And then all of a sudden they leave with the book, the master book.
Yeah.
And you see that happen a lot. And then the other person's scrambling because, like, when you lost your page, even you lost all those contacts where you agreed to gigs and things, because unfortunately a lot of us put our eggs in Messenger. I mean, they do it,
Yeah. I mean, I have a book too, a pen and paper book that I've always used, but there was information in there and I hadn't imported everything into my paper and pen. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
Marianne. I love Marianne.
I know those two promoters too.
Yes.
I think it's in like it. If a venue is continually, so this is how I feel. When a venue is known for or continually double books or cancels bands, to me is the same as when I'm constantly seeing a band canceling their gigs.
Yeah.
No matter what the reason they give people, I'm not. There's a band that I know a lot of people like, great people, but it almost seems like once a month they're canceling a gig.
Interesting. And Buckeye Dave, thank you for that comment. We appreciate it. And he's going to be on the show tomorrow with me Wednesday with the band. We're talking about an event he's having. So thank you for being here. Ray Renee says mistakes. Everybody should get a pass for a mistake here and there.
Absolutely.
But if it happens, if it's routine, but the thing about you, and I know you and several other venue owners, if you double book, you end up making it right.
I pay them. I give at least half, if not all. If I pay them. Right. Yeah. And I make up for it.
And Kara's saying one incident she was pissed about is the one venue that had a waitress charging more for drinks than what we paid the week before. Interesting.
Well, sometimes we raise our prices too.
And saved a table for a friend saying it's reserved when the venue doesn't do reservation. Yeah, that's a touchy subject. And let me tell you, I've taken some crap even when Ceris has always placed me a table at the Bell on Thursday nights over that because, they don't take reservations for the most part. Or at least, like if it's a birthday party, yes, big table. But
for the big tables, yeah.
I'll take it. And I got a little crap from people over that sometimes. And I understand it. Because everybody
it is a touchy subject.
Everybody wants a front row.
Yeah, well.
They do. And, I will say, the thing you were dealing with even on Sunday, you have a lot of special people for your club. I mean, your bar. There are so many special people, but there comes a point where in an event like that, you got to kind of draw the line and say, folks, please understand this is a ticketed event. You got to come in like most people. You got to do your thing,
Oh, here's the thing. I turned off all communication on event days and just allow messages from like who I need, staff and family, and turn off everything else because the amount of people that I get message me, messenger or text message, hey, can you call me if there's tickets? Can you get me a ticket? Can you get me? I mean, it just nothing pisses me off more. So I just turned it off this Sunday and I looked at, I was exhausted. It was the busiest week. And I turned everything back on. When was it? This morning or late last night?
It's funny you said that. Our friend, Big John Murray, Big John was getting a transplanted heart. and he was in the hospital and all that. And people are blowing his phone up because the stadium tour came to Cincinnati and could he get him tickets and backstage and all that crap.
Yeah.
Knowing that the guy is laying in a bed, man, waiting on a heart to live. It's like, people.
Yeah, I heard that. That's just awful.
It's disgusting.
Awful. Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah. And, and he's a lot of events backstage, and he was, big into the security side of things for a long time. But Jimmy, I want to know what band you're in. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. So Jimmy, tell us what band you're in, if you will. Buckeye Dave says the only thing that irks him when a venue contacts us about an event and then ghosts us. Yeah, we've touched on that before too. I'm looking more so what can ruin the reputation of a venue for both the musicians and the customers. And Kevin says two biggest causes of double booking seem to be owner and booking manager and conflict. Yeah. Well, yeah. 2 calendars. I mean, it can be a variety of stuff. And sometimes I will tell you that some owners forget. They talk to somebody and said, yeah, or they get sidetracked in that night and they say, yeah, let's book you for the 24th of next month, blah, blah, blah. And then they forget because they get busy. Something happens. It happens all the time. And Carolyn said she had a venue owner be incredibly rude. Yeah. And some of them are. I've seen venue owners be extremely rude to people when they didn't have to be, if they just be honest. Well, on my show yesterday, when I closed out the show, I mentioned that you come off sometimes, Ceris, with an armadillo skin, but you have a heart of gold. And you're one of those people who, to read you sometimes in the room, if you're busy and focused and you get laser focused on the job at hand, it can be taken sometimes as, boy, she's pissed off.
Oh, no.
And it's not necessarily the case.
No.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate what's going through a person's head when they throw an event or they're just at work. Even if I'm just sitting down, I'm still technically working because I'm watching for everything. Yesterday at the event, somebody was blocking the entrance to go in and out of the bar, and I knew this person. I was like, hey, and I was in a rush. I had to go, like something was happening. I was like, hey, can you move? And they're like, no. And trying to be funny. I was like, I need you to move. And they're like, no. And like blocking it and trying to be funny. I was like, dude, get the fuck out of the way. I need you to move. Like, I got to go to work. I got to do something. So, it's like.
Oh, I'm late. I'm late on the button.
Oh, my bad, guys.
There we go. Now I've got it. Tina, yes, a happy hour is over per price change. That gets people jacked up. Kevin's saying something else.
What was it? I didn't see that.
Tina Reed, Ramsey, right there. It's on the screen.
Yeah, that's another thing. I was going to mention that, too. That's a good thing. Like, a lot of people are like, the waitress came to me. Well, and I hate, being charged a different rate. But once happy hour is over, the prices change. So make sure we know why. Somebody's charging you more, definitely not cool. But there are a lot of reasons why a price would change.
I love your crunching, by the way.
Oh, sorry. People.
No, it's fine. Thank you, Kevin Cooper, for that one. And Sean Cooper, no relation to Kevin, I don't think. I appreciate that. He says, we're a smaller venue, love listening to all the local great music. And B&B is a killer venue. Thank you. Thank you for that, Sean. I think so, too. By the way, you had a killer day yesterday.
Oh, thank you, Sean Cooper.
We'll talk about that.
I really appreciate that.
And yeah, if the management is, and there's a difference between managing, Carolyn, and being rude to your employees. Sometimes you have to kick them in gear every once in a while, and you got to say, this is our mission for the night or whatever. I mean, I understand that. And the management in the bar restaurant business is not easy because there are all kinds of personalities. And one of the greatest things I love is go to a local pub in the daytime and meet the daytime person who works 5 days a week there. And boy, will they give you a book half the time on all the shit that's wrong with that club. It's funny to hear because it's like they run it in the daytime and everything else is screwed up. And they have to clean up all day after the people that work nights. And, it's funny to hear that stuff sometimes. But we're talking about what a venue can do right now to ruin a reputation, to make you not go back. And then we're going to talk about positives, too, here in just a minute. But what else we got coming in? Oh, funny. Aaron
Thanks,
Thomas.
Aaron.
Marianne loves Big John. I must be way
Oh, who
behind in the
doesn't love Big
comments.
John? Big John's awesome.
We all love him. He's great. And I'm trying to see here. Oh, Jimmy's in no refunds.
I think saying
Okay.
the word, there's a Colleen, not promoting events bands will always promote. No, they don't. They definitely do not always promote.
No, they do not.
I can guarantee you that. But venues don't always do it. Nope, you're correct. Venues do not always do it. And bands do not always do it.
Bill, we're going to do a show one day on lighting and you're coming on. Every show, Bill says, the light's shining in his eyes.
But you're not
in the
everyone,
venue.
Colleen. You're just one
Yes.
band. But I
Yes.
so appreciate that, Colleen. That's great.
I must be way behind in the comments you're talking to here. So let me scroll through a few of these. What do we got? Karis would never be rude. Oh, I don't know.
Like
She
I
might
can
be.
come across as rude, but I don't ever mean to be rude. I think I have resting bitch face too, which doesn't help. And when I am laser focused, it's like, okay, people just don't know that yet. And then I definitely can come across rude, but I got to tell you, I'm one of the nicest people you'll meet, in my opinion.
Wow. Are we taking a vote on that?
Oh, I don't really care. I know that. The
There.
people that know me know that.
Wow. I got the crud going on here. All right, let me get to some more comments here. What do we got? Banks got
Thanks,
a book.
Mike Quinn.
Banks has a book. People feeling safe. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We were getting to that. That's the number one on every survey you do out there about venues and why people don't go back is violence and fighting. And you can go to the movie Roadhouse. It's hilarious. But his little speech he gives the people about all the, the fighters and the drug dealers and all that in the bar. People aren't going to go back to that kind of stuff if that's happening. One
of my most favorite compliments is when somebody reaches out to me and tells me, I can come to your bar by myself and I never feel alone and I feel super safe. And to me, that is the greatest compliment I think a bar owner can get. To feel somebody being, never feeling alone. That means everyone's making them feel welcome. I mean, everybody's going to have their off days and feeling safe. That's huge to me. That's huge.
And Mike, I want to comment on yours as well. He says even if you pack the place, they don't bother follow up with you and those kind of things. That is a trend, and it's not necessarily a good thing. And I agree in the music business that a lot of venue owners, they take on a lot. They have a lot on their plate. And oftentimes this text message from a band gets lost in the shuffle. And it's offensive to the band. The venue owner doesn't necessarily, I think, mean it in a bad way. I'm guilty
of that, and I don't mean it. And I'm super guilty of that. And none of it is done on purpose. Like one of the options for one of our shows was what people don't see that bands and venue owners go through that nobody realizes, like the amount of work. I mean, it's insane. We're
going to do that too.
It is insane. Even if I'm not at the bar, I am still working, literally, unless I'm sleeping. That's it. There is no off time for a venue owner. And I know the band goes through very similar things, and I'm not doubting that. But we're not doing it on some are. I'm sure some are, but I know that I'm not.
Chris, thank you for that comment. And I quit working a venue because of that very reason.
Yeah, see, that's shady. That shit's shady to me.
Extremely shady.
Extremely. If you agree on a price, you stick with the price. Now, there's always, in my opinion, which could be another show topic. If I'm paying for like a band that comes in as a 5-piece band and there's, we agreed on an amount because that's what I'm paying for. This is the band I'm paying for, and this is the amount. And you come in and you give me half the band. Now, I'm not saying giving you half the money, but something's got to give there, right? So there's always there. To me, there's this room, but I would never. If a band is coming to me and agree on a price, at the end of the night, I pay them that agreed price, if not more. assuming they follow their end of the bargain as well, their end of the deal as well.
And there's Tina. It's talking about her. She's at O'Connor's Irish Pub up in Springfield.
Yeah.
Gets so many messages, it's hard to keep up. I understand that 100%. I do.
Yeah, Tina, I'm with you, man. It is redunculous.
And then a band's going to say, "We'll just hire somebody to deal with it." Then, well, that's money. And first of all, no one's going to do the job you're going to do to promote your bar. I mean,
I would never ever let anybody touch my relationship with musicians or bands or anything like that. That is one of the most important relationships you can have, and I'm not letting anybody risk that.
Musician makes show poster, weekly post, and they don't promote, share even when tagged in it. I agree with that, because I get tired of that too, Heath. Even just in my little small business, I do. And you work your ass off to promote what's going on, and then if the place isn't full, they look at you like, "Why didn't you promote it?" And you promoted the crap out of it. So I get that.
The bands do it too. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I always promote every single day for 1 week, if not before. I make events. Hey,
there's Brad Martin.
Of course there is.
Let's see. Consistency. Yeah. And we've kind of morphed into talking about how they treat musicians, but let's just put the same thing Brad's saying in there from the customer standpoint. If it's the same old, and you see the same old thing, and that bar cancels on your favorite band because they double booked and all those things, you're not going to go back. People get tired of that. And
why? Now, I got to ask, why would you ever play that place again? Like, Brad, anybody, if somebody tried to like underpay me, unless it was like a legit, I don't know. If somebody tried, like, I know that there are reasons, and I don't consider it underpaid. It's just maybe the band didn't follow through what their offer was. But if somebody was like, "Oh, I can't pay you right tonight," if you have to track somebody down, why would you ever play there again?
Seth, that's a great comment too. Thank you.
Seth, that is one of my biggest pet peeves too. Oh my gosh.
Closing before it's closing time.
No.
Yes, I agree. And closing while the band's playing. That's the other issue. And Jim, you're right. I feel comfortable at the Bell as well. There's good people in there. So, and there's good people in a lot of places. And yeah, there's Tina's message again. I'm trying to back up and look at a couple of these messages here. And
that's good. That's good business, Brad.
Cincy Local and Live. You must be looking at them as they pop up, Ceris, because
I am.
I am way behind. So I'm trying to get them on the screen here. And he's talking about venues you used to play at now that don't reach out or want to book you anymore when you build a great relationship with at least you thought, then all of a sudden gum on a shoe. Well, that's interesting. It is. I won't deny that happens. So do you ask yourself, Heath, is that, I'm sure you're putting it in your mind, is that a me problem? Is that a bar problem? Is that a somebody telling him about me problem? Which I know goes on a lot. That could all come full circle. So Shane DeMoss, if you're just joining us, we're talking about reasons that venues can get a reputation, basically, that you wouldn't go back, or venues we're going to mention here in just a minute, the reasons you would go back. We got a few more minutes left in this program. And Chris said they would pack. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. And I will
Aaron,
tell you,
thank you for putting me in the same category as Lori. I appreciate that.
Very uncomfortable, Chris, at the end of the night when they would try to shortchange people. And that's just offensive to me. It was offensive to me because I was the one that had the relationship with the bands and couldn't do it.
Drunk owners are terrible, Tina.
And Mr. Burroughs Tavern, I'm not sure. You said same on relationships with musicians. I'm not positive which one you were talking about there because I'm so behind in the comments here. Aaron, let's get to Aaron Thomas. He's got one.
That's a very nice compliment because Lori is a top-notch fucking human.
All right.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever.
I appreciate that.
Whatever.
Like a lot.
Glenn says if he goes to a venue and they have great music, but the staff and I don't feel welcome there and don't go back. Well, that's, yeah. You think that's a management problem?
What?
If people perceive the staff of a venue as being rude and arrogant to their customers and that kind of, you think that's a management problem?
Well, I mean, I think so. I mean, I also think that there's some people have bad days and one person's opinion can really, some people are picky on how we can't have long conversations with you when we're super busy. I also know that I'm dealing with a situation where I have a bartender that I continuously get complaints about for rudeness. So, you got to deal with that. And I'm dealing with that,
Right.
But I also believe in giving people chances and trying to fix a problem before, just because I'd want somebody to at least talk to me and give me a chance to fix an issue before actually getting rid of them. But I think I think it's 100% of management's issue if they're not listening to their customers' complaints and addressing them to a degree, because there's some people that just like to complain.
Yeah. And
usually if I hear the same complaint more than once, I'm going to address it.
Thank you. Seth's full of good comments today. That's good. Yeah. Had multiple people tell us they were charged different prices at the door. That's a bunch of BS, man. And I've seen that happen. If you come in and they know you, and what they're doing is they're trying to take care of their regulars, but you need to have a club card or something someone can show you that reduces their admission price, that is something that's formal. Because if you just do that at the door and then charge the next guy behind because you don't know him $25 to get in, that's crap. I mean, it is. Yeah. It's not right to the customers at all. And Tina was talking about drunk owners are terrible. Absolutely. And worst. We joked about this being bar rescue when we started, but if you watch those shows, isn't it like 80% of the shows he does, the reason that bar's failing because the owner's sitting in the bar drinking every night? I mean, it really is. That's what it looks like to me. And some of those are, I mean, they're horrible in the way they talk to their employees and that kind of stuff. So you get why it's bad.
I think Mike and Anthony had a comment regarding attitude, and they both attitude reflects leadership, and it comes down to management. I mean, it is true. I mean, I think the way a bar is run, I think a happy staff it comes from management, and an unhappy staff comes from management. I like to think, also there's usually a very high turnover in this industry, and you can usually tell the places that don't necessarily have an extremely high turnover. There'll be some that just don't fit in. I just recently went through that, and they also went through like 3 jobs in like 1 month. I mean, sometimes you got to figure out who the common denominator is. But for the most part, my staff's been there
a long time.
Oh my gosh, almost every single one of them since I opened.
A long time.
But of course, everything comes from up above. I think it's important to really care. You have to really care, and not just about making money. And that's the difference. So you have to care about it's, to me, in business, it's the smallest details that make the biggest impact. So you got to concentrate on all of those before you can even say, "Where's my bundle?"
Thank you, Brad Martin. That's a good comment too.
That's a good comment, Brad. That goes vice versa. It's the same. I have bands that, like I said earlier, brings in a whole lot of people, but I won't book again.
But it always comes back full circle to, if there's a problem in the venue, it leads to ownership or management, because they are the ones who set the path for the employees. And you have to. I mean, and there's a time where your employees become family, but there's a time you got to yank the family chain a little bit and say, look, this is unacceptable.
Right.
We can't have that happen, and I know that's tough. It's tough to do to people that you dearly love, but it's your business. It's your livelihood. Right. And as fickle as the customer can be, you can go from riches to rags in months. I mean, in no time. And the worst thing I used to see happen, and I used to be you'll laugh at this, in the teen nightclub business. of under 21 and
Okay.
let you have violence in your parking lot, which you can't control because your attorneys and your insurance company say do not let your bouncers go out in the parking lot ever. So this crap goes down in the parking lot. And let's just say theoretically somebody pulls a weapon out or something. It can ruin your business in a second. And you have no control, zero control over that. It's like violence coming into your bar. I mean, you see bars that'll post no colors in the bar, this kind of stuff. And every biker I know nowadays that I've ever dealt with is not a bad person. I mean, they're not coming in to cause any trouble.
And the ones that I deal with now, I know there's different ones out there, but the ones that come to my bar, they do so much for charity, so much for the kids. They help me out so much. I don't have a problem. And I'm not going to ever, I'm not going to judge I'm not going to judge anybody for anything until you give me a reason to be unfriendly. I'm going to be friendly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cover you up.
No, it's okay.
I'm looking. Heather wrote a book here, but we're looking at it. She said, "Yeah, Heather, you're making great points there as well. Good music doesn't make up for a crappy establishment. Yes, and the one that closed up in Dayton, perfect. A lot of the bands that played there were great, but the establishment didn't run it the way they should have, and unfortunately, they're not with us anymore. And another one bites the dust, unfortunately." Mm-hmm. And yeah, James Banks says pride, absolutely. Let's hit on real quick because we're gonna have to go in a minute. What makes you want to go to a place? Real fast. I mean, just if you can throw some comments in there.
Is it the makeup one wears on Hot Topic Tuesday? Does that make you want to come to my bar?
It makes me want to get in the car right now and put the pedal to the metal and head to the
I was
mill.
hoping, guys.
Yes. And Heath and Shane are having some kind of a comedy talk here. I missed some of it, I think.
Heath is wanted Carolyn to know that Mr. Burroughs' tavern would be a good model to see as well. Because thank you, Carolyn, for that wonderful compliment. That was a really nice compliment. Look, honestly, guys, I'm trying to read the compliments, and there's so many, and it's making me blush. And I'm trying to not read them because my allergies are going to start acting up, and I just can't have that. So I freaking love you all so much. It's insane. And Tina, your 15-year employee there, that speaks volumes.
Absolutely. And Nicholas gave up on a venue for him instead of admitting they didn't want to book. Yeah, I think people just need to be honest in this business with things. And if you don't want to play there, you need to tell them why. And no offense, just say this is the reason. And if they don't want you to play there, they need to be honest with you and tell you why. Even if you're just not a good fit for the crowd, it would eliminate a lot of crap instead of ghosting each other and all that other stuff. And Ceris, I saw a survey of all the things online that are reasons bars fail in the world, and violence was always number one on the survey. Bad reviews were another one because keyboard warriors can trash your business.
That's what I'm saying. That's my biggest pet peeve. And I try to respond to all reviews. And the problem is those people that I had somebody write a bad review and give me 2 stars because they were there for a fundraiser, the staff fundraiser, and complained it was too busy for them. And it was too much. It was too busy for them at this fundraiser. So they gave me 2 stars. Imagine, and that's the problem with these reviews things. Now, I love reviews because I love the good reviews. But imagine taking the time to punish a venue for being too busy and for trying to raise money for those in need. That's when the reviews get under my skin.
Well, and so many people are critical over so many little I mean, I actually had somebody look at me on Sunday and say, I am not happy with my seat because I can't see Kip Winger. Well, welcome to the world of a small venue with a bunch of people in it.
What did
it happens. Say? They were upset because they couldn't see Kip Winger from their seated position.
Oh, well.
Sorry. I mean, it was busy. You want to see Kip Winger? Walk up front?
It was busy, and I kept it at, there was 60 people under capacity. So I could have had 60 more people in there.
Which would have made it super busy.
Correct.
All right. Well, let's finish up with this. And we may have to talk about this later because we're running out of time. But bad reviews were another one that came up on that survey. Poor customer service. Obviously, we've hit on that today. Ineffective management. We've touched on that. The other one we didn't really talk about, and it's prevalent in a lot of places, is intoxicated customers who become obnoxious to those who come in, are not familiar with them. Oh, it's a regular. He's always drunk. Don't hit on me. You know, that kind of thing. That's a problem.
Yeah, I personally throw those people out.
Yeah. And you know, the funniest one, the number 6 on the list was poor wireless service. What a change the world has become now.
I have poor. Make sure you go on the B&B guest, then your wireless will be okay. Otherwise, it's shit.
Yeah. It's the poor Wi-Fi. And I sometimes wish it was better because the folks that live stream videos, sometimes they get all, because if there's 100 people doing it in the bar, it gets all pixelated and stuff. But yeah, that's interesting. But Bar and Restaurant Magazine puts out a survey each year of reasons bars fail, and that's the list. Sup, Miss Jackie?
Are we almost ready for this and that?
Oh no. Am I in the hot seat this week?
Spot Hall edition?
Let's finish it up today, Ceris. It's time. I have to go to Mr. Burroughs and do some quiz-tastic trivia.
Before you go to that fantastic venue.
Quiz-tastic, but okay.
Let's do this or that. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Can I have a drum roll, please?
I'm looking. Hang on. I'm getting there. There we go. There.
All right. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince.
Zeppelin or Floyd?
Zeppelin.
Queen or The Who?
Queen.
Eagles or Bob Seger?
Eagles.
Jimi Hendrix or Jimi Hendrix?
Okay.
Nirvana or Pearl Jam? There is no other. Nirvana or Pearl Jam?
Nirvana.
Creed or Nickelback?
Oh, I'm going to go Nickelback.
Funk or blues?
Funk.
Jazz or classical music?
Jazz.
Bad breath or body odor?
Oh, both.
Smacked in the face with a fish or farted on?
Fish.
Sniff a dog's butt for 5 minutes or eat a bowl of dog food?
Eat a bowl of dog food.
Smartest person in the world or richest person in the world?
Smartest.
Doggy style or missionary?
You ain't right, girl.
You're not going to answer that one, are you?
You ain't right. I'm trying to stay on the air.
Pizza or burgers?
Oh, I'll go pizza.
Chinese food or Italian?
Oh, Italian.
Candy or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Big hands but tiny feet or tiny hands and big feet?
Tiny hands, big feet.
That's all, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. You ain't right, girl.
But I ain't wrong.
You ain't right, but you ain't wrong. I don't want to be right. Hey, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Thanks for being here.
Be right.
Yes. Thanks for being here, everybody. We have a blast with you on Tuesdays. If you have a hot topic and want us to talk about it, send it to us. And we'd also like to invite you to join the show.
Please join us. Can I just say this? If ever you want to join us on Tuesdays, let us know. Not only can we tap you in, but even if you just want to call, give us a call, dude. Join the conversation.
Because your opinion matters.
It certainly does.
It does. And, you know, we're trying to come up with some new pictures, too. The Ceris and Scott pictures.
We took a good one just recently. I really liked it.
Did we? I didn't see it. Where is it?
I don't remember. I think you took it or it was on your phone or something.
I don't know. There. Yeah, that one's creepy almost.
I can't stand that picture. I'm like this.
It's kind of creepy. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I have to travel down to my friends at Mr. Burroughs Tavern, where I'll be there doing Quiz-tastic trivia. Tomorrow on the show, Buckeye Dave Shields joining me about an event he's got going on this weekend. Also, I'd like to invite you out Friday and Saturday to Skydive Greene County. I'll be emceeing an event there for Jim Pee Wee Martin's Jump Fest. Big World War II reenactment, planes from the World War II era, dropping paratroopers in. Lots of fun stuff. We're going to be there for that Friday and Saturday. So there. Thanks,
Come
Ceris.
visit me at the Bell and the Bear this week.
You had a killer week. I want to give you props real quick before, as we go off the air. Yesterday was off the hook wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Sunday.
Thank you.
Off the hook wonderful. You and your staff run a great event.
Thank
That's all I
you.
gotta say.
We work real hard for those.
Okay. And when Kip Winger looked at me and he says, "This is a really cool vibe at this place," he meant it.
But yeah, when him and Lita Ford, they were both like, we would come back here in a second. That just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
It really
and he was great. He was
really nice.
insanely good.
Yeah.
Still to this day. And I mean, his song 17, she's only 53 or something now, is about the year she'd be if it was the same song. I don't know. However old she'd be by this point. But Kip Winger, great voice, great show. And Charlie's going to be on the show too, your opener.
Oh,
He's
now
coming
weren't
home.
they freaking awesome? How kind
Yes,
were
great
they?
people, super people.
Gosh, they really fit into the, like, man, they were a joy. What nice humans. My gosh,
Yes.
their story was so cute too.
Yes. And Kern and Wade, love those two guys.
Oh, well, they're already in the family.
They are. They're in the fam. The fam.
Bam bam. You call it
Thanks.
a clique, I'll call it a family.
Is it a click?
I don't give a shit. That's the best clique I've ever had.
Amen to that,
They're trying to
sister.
bring
We'll
more
see
and
you.
more people into it too.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.
everybody.
Thanks for
Everyone
coming.
enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information.
Check us out on YouTube, everybody, and the Instagram, if you will.
Working for the weekend, and I wanna see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music.